when the stay-at-home implementation has been ongoing through the country, and this has greatly affected schools, mostly greatly affected on the entertainment sector. But for now, we're going to be looking at how schools have reopened now. It's a yes, congratulations to both teachers and the learners. But how are they managing after the school reopened? This morning, we're going to be discussing how learners are being managed by teachers after the reopening, and I'm going to be joined by Winfred Tumuhaire, who is a teacher at Luzira Secondary School. Of course, what has been happening amidst all that 2 years, people have returned to businesses. We have seen students cooperating in businesses. We have seen early marriages, pregnancies, among others. If you can hear me, Teacher Winfred, if you could share with us your general overview, how the journey is so far after reopening. How do you feel? I don't know if you had started a business yet like other people. Just give us a general overview of the journey yet.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rina. And listeners and viewers of Smart 24 TV, good morning to all. First of all, I wish to thank God we are alive and that we've been enabled to come back. So it's been really long, like you've said, and thankfully, the long waiting has ended. We are back to schools, and both teachers and the students are actually excited. That's the word I can use. We're excited to be back to school, and we've started off surprisingly. Children have come back, and teachers too. People probably maybe they have businesses, they are busy, they have gone for greener pastures, but at least at the station where I am, teachers are back and they are in class. So we've had a week of counseling. We've talked about, we've gone through what they had forgotten, and we are back and we are teaching. The population is normal for all children and teachers. And I want to say that with education, where you stop is where you start from when you come. So we've started and everything is going on smoothly.
Okay, and of course, it has been on news. People have written about it. Journalists have reported about it. Students have lost interest. Of course, some have lost interest in education. As teachers, how are you handling, students or learners that have lost interest in education? Some of them have been forced by their parents to report back to school. Others, they just go for the sake of just ongoing because it's a program there. How are you handling that? Okay, I think I have lost Teacher Winfred there, but we're still talking and discussing after schools have reopened. A lot has been going in regards to both students, parents, and guardians as well. But we want to look at teachers and students, how they are able to incorporate or cooperate the learning institution is concerned. And now they opened on 10th, but however we have loss of interest from students and learners, but some parents say that they will catch up. Even teachers have got hope of catching up with time, but we want to hear this time from the teachers themselves. And I was discussing that with Winfred Tumuhaire, who is a teacher at Luzira Secondary School. Very well, he will be joining us, I think, in a bit as the technical team or her network is being poor maybe. But we're also going to be looking at how these teachers or the schools are observing what they call the puberty stages, because clips have been ongoing of students. These are students that have had phones now. They had their smartphones, and now time for going back to school, parents were confiscating them, and some of them sneaked them to schools through the cases. Maybe you've done that before, putting in sugar or rice that you pack So we're going to be looking at how they're handling the puberty that are raised with that, because many of them, according to reports, actually many of the boys and girls around the country were sexually active during this time. Because we have seen many getting married, we have seen others being impregnated, we have seen others just, you know, being sexually harassed or active. So all that combines it to what is, you know, sexual, institutional, you know, training or sensitivities that we'll also be looking at. But also we expect what more from the teachers to tell us if there are any other programs they are looking for to make sure they have a successful and impactful or effective learning as the schools continue around the country. And there has been a clip actually that has, I don't know if you've seen it or it has reached your desk yet, because I've seen a teacher and a student fighting. We were unable actually to play it here because I was trying to still get it. So how are they handling this? Because some friend of mine was actually telling me we're not even handling students or pupils anymore, especially for students, those in from senior one and above. These are people now that have grown in mind, have grown physically. So I think I have got Winfred Tumuhaire back, a teacher at Luzida Secondary School. You were still sharing with us how you're coping up, but I was also inquiring how you are interesting students back to learning progress after the reopening, because many of them, I don't want to spend like many, but some have lost interest according to what we see on the reports, even physically what we see and what we hear. How are you interesting them back on track?
Thank you once again, Rita. Sorry for that internet interruption. Now, when it comes to education,
Unfortunately, we have got
but
a Zoom
right
problem. It
now,
could be maybe because of the weather, because around Kampala here it's been raining since the day started, since morning actually, and it's still on. Maybe that could be one of the reasons why we're unclear to, unable to communicate effectively. But I think she's on now. If you can hear me, Winfred, if you could share with us how are you interesting learners to get steadily as we go further educating them.
Yeah, I hope you can hear me well now. So I was telling you that there definitely has been a disruption for all those years that the children have been away from school. But we are handling, like I told you, we used it the last week, for example, here at school, which I know
Picking a little bit when she regains network. What we will have had is what we will take as she gets back to us. She wants to share with us how surely are teachers handling people who have lost interest. Some of them are just for the sake of being there because mother, dad, guardian has told me I have to go to school. And bringing these social concerns or social effects coming in from our different communities around the country and across the world that we share in SNB. Remember, every day has got a theme. So today's theme, we look at a general overview of what comes out from the public. And we're still on managing learners after school reopening. I think I'll go back to Mahaire. If you could please pick up from where you stopped on sharing with us how you are managing and how you are interesting learners back to get on track on education.
So I was telling you, Rita, that the first week of school, which was the whole of last week, it was a week of counseling. So we were basically talking to the children. We did not teach for day one. We had to talk to them, share experiences, allow them come back to school, as in psychologically come back to school. So we did that for the whole week. We are now doing for senior 1 and senior 5 starting this week. And I believe that's good enough to bring the children back to school. Then that thing of saying that the children have matured, they have grown, they have got money, yes, it could be true, but in a school setting, children remain students remain children, and teachers remain teachers. So the teachers, as parents and as elders, usually find a way of handling those children who are going wayward, of handling those children who are distracted. And before you know it, school will be normal. Things will be moving on as usual. But of course, I must admit there are those children who have never read since they closed in the first lockdown. So they have not been revising. They have even forgotten the topics they have covered. They have even forgotten that some things they have already studied. And you ask them and they tell you they've not covered or they don't remember. That's why I tell you, you don't remember. But as teachers, we find
And if you could hear me on the nature of puberty, of adolescent, of, growing up as a nature, as a teacher, have you encountered any challenge? Have you encountered any challenges yet? Okay, I think I have lost her, but she will come back in the meantime. If you can hear me, Winfred, please share with me on the issue of growing up, on the nature of growing up, adulting, and also puberty. Have you encountered any challenges yet in regards to associating with these learners?
Yeah, personally, at least in the school where I am, we've not encountered any challenge. It is true children have grown. The girls have grown up. You can see them. The boys have grown up. It is evident physically. But in terms of challenges, we've not seen a number. For example, I've not identified any pregnant girl in the school. Maybe I'm yet to. I'm not sure about that, but I've not seen one. And therefore, I would say we are not encountering such challenges, but in case they come, being a senior woman that I am, we shall find a way. We shall talk to these children because, first of all, we've been there. Second, we've been trained to handle these children. So in case there is any challenge, any puberty challenges, I think as school we shall handle. There's no situation, no challenge that we won't handle. Together, of course, with parents, I think they may come, is expected, but we shall be able to handle those challenges, I can assure you. Yes, please.
Very point of handling how you're planning. Are there any strategies you have put up as a school yet to make sure you handle it prior? Because we have seen on social media, I do not know if it has reached you yet, there are some videos that are escalating, teachers and teachers fighting with a student. Another video is of a student who was drinking, I think it was drinking, she was drinking from the bottle of water, and there was water, but dancing to a tune of what is trending, like Bad Man in Dio. I don't know if such arrangements have reached your school yet. In case something's happening that way, what are you willing to take up? I think I've lost her again, but surely this conversation is still interesting because we really want to hear from the teachers out there how they are managing it through, how they are able to train to continue teaching students or learners that have not been to school. Some of them really have not been there for almost the 2 years. Even when the president had partially opened last time, some of them did not even make a step to that school. Winfred, I see I've got you back. I was still sharing with you about videos going viral on social media. Some girl student was drinking from a bottle bottle of water. I think there was water. I don't want really to anticipate that it was alcohol. But dancing to the tune of Badman in Dio, that is, you know, heating up in the country. Another was fighting with a student. So to me, I don't know how I can relate it to myself, but I don't know how you can relate that. And what are any means, or do you have any means as a school that you have put up or strategies in case this is going to be happening?
Yeah, thank you, Rita. Sorry again for the interruption. I want to say that those things could happen in schools and could happen anywhere. I don't want to 100%
Oh my. Driving Business, Smart 24 TV. You're
be
watching
part of it.
SME. I'm Rita Cabanero, and we're still surely wanting to know
I can
how they are treating the students, how are students relating with them after the reopening. We're discussing with her on how teachers are managing learners after school reopening, or how schools are managing, and discussing with me is Winfred Tumhairo, who is still trying to connect. Network is really greatly affecting us, but we appreciate what we are picking from her. Please share with me on what really more should be done, or in case uncertainties come up with your school, because these are adults and they're in puberty, anything can happen. How are you prepared?
I hope you can hear me now, Rita. So I was telling you that teachers are trained to handle. Like when we started the term, we started with a workshop for the teachers. And I want to believe that all schools actually handled the teachers first before the students came in. So we devised ways of how we are going to, the things we are going to tell these children, the type of counseling we are going to have with them, the kind of professional behavior we need to have towards them, well knowing they have been distracted. So if those challenges come, like I've said, we shall handle. To begin with, we were trained and even inducted on that, on the reopening of schools. Then secondly, we have offices. Every school has office of the senior woman and senior man. Those are particular offices for handling cases of adolescence that come with adolescence, challenges that come with growing up. So those offices, every school has a senior man, they have a senior woman, and they can ably handle those challenges. But also bearing in mind that we've been with these children at home and we know what they have gone through, we can ably guide them. So in such a case, there's nothing big to worry. In fact, me, what I think we should worry about is how we are going to maintain the children at school without them falling sick. But their discipline, they are coming back to class and they attend to classes. I'm sure that is going to happen. It's just a matter of a few days and they will settle in. So what we should look at and be worried and be challenged with is how are we maintaining these children at school without having them fall sick. Because if they don't fall sick, then situations will be normalized. But if the children fall sick and then we are forced into another lockdown, that will be very unfortunate. Otherwise, the society out there, parents out there, there's no cause for worry. There's no cause for worry. Children are back to school, and I know we shall talk to them. And like in school, we agreed every other lesson a teacher goes for, they are mandated to talk to the children first before they teach. So at least spare a few 5-10 minutes into the lesson and talk about the lives of these children vis-a-vis the lesson you're going to teach them, so that they are not distracted at that particular time of the lesson. And I think that will go a long way. And I would like to call also on the teachers to know that, first of all, they are teachers, they are not children, so they can't engage in a fight. They are children. Even when the children are in the wrong, the teacher must not engage in a fight. There's no need for beating up the children, abusing them, because that will be adding injury to the wound. They're already wounded one or the other. So the best way is to, use a language that can entice them to come back and stay in school. Use a language that is not tormenting to them. And before we know it, the situation will have normalized and we shall be teaching normally and there will be no problem. But of course, I can deny the fact also, Rita, that there is too much to cover. I cannot deny that fact. So as that's where actually we are challenging it. Children were promoted automatically. Some of them have studied just 1 month, others had studied less than a month, others had not studied at all the former class, but they have been promoted to the next class. So that's where the challenge will be. That's too much work for the children to cover. But I want to say also that there's nothing heavy that we cannot do on this earth. So as teachers, of course, we must devise ways. We shall find ways of condensing the curriculum and maybe changing the method of teaching to that can enable us to cover everything in the shortest time possible. That's what I could tell you.
Good luck from me to you in regards to exercising what you were trained for. And lastly, if you could share with us what more effort you think should be done by teachers, I do not know, school organizations, so that we can keep the learners in school and make sure there is effective education in the country. I think I've lost her the last minute. Let us still wait on in case she returns, in case network allows. But surely we are on our last conversation and we want to know how schools can really maintain students that have reported there in school. I see I have you, Winfred. If you can share with us, what more do you think should be done by school organizations, administrations, even teachers yourselves to make sure we keep the learners in school?
Yeah, I would say to begin with, the teachers themselves must be retooled. They must be retooled because they too have gone through challenges. They have gone through suffering in many ways, especially like the teachers in private schools. They have gone through a lot. So they need to be retooled. They need to be talked to by maybe psychologists. They need to be, brought to that level where they feel, yes, we can now hand another group. That is one. Some schools are doing it, others not done it yet. But every teacher needs to be talked to because they too have faced challenges. Then there must be too much of talking to these children than pumping them with a lot of notes and academic work. Because we've realized even that would be time when academic work can halt, but life must continue. So these children
Losing
schools
you,
must understand.
Teacher Winfred. You come back. Please give last submissions in just 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds, Winfred, from me, because we're concluding.
Yes, I'm saying schools must understand that children and parents have gone floats, and the parents also must be ready to support their children to go through school, and the teachers must continuously be retooled to these children. And I would say that all the stakeholders, government must come in and assist so that the schools can move on. The capitation grant must come in.
You go, Winfred, if you can hear me, in case these words reach you out there, I wish you a blessed day. Thank you for having given us time at Smart 24 TV to discuss how are really managing learners after school reopening. I'm Rita Cabanyoro, and SMB continues with more driving business information right here.
Smart 24, driving business. Smart 24, driving business.
Every new day brings new opportunities for you to conquer the business world. Start your day with a show that will drive your business. Be the first to know the latest prices around town, the latest business information around the country and the world. We bring you in-depth analysis with exclusive interviews from key players. And of course, wouldn't you want that for your morning? Get up to speed with what is trending in the business world, all in one morning show, Smart Business, with your favorite guy, Joram Post Sonko, every weekday, Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 10:50 a.m. as we drive you into the business world. This is Smart 24.
Smart 24, driving business.
You're watching Smart 24 TV. My name is Rita Kawanyura, and SMB Smart means business continues. And now we're going to be looking at how climate change is greatly impacting financial institutions' balance sheet. Uganda's climate is naturally viable, like you have seen, but also we have noticed and witnessing floods and droughts that have affected greatly or negative socio-economic impact onto the economy. This has brought very great negativity around the country, but also the Bududa landslide and floods that has hit Kasese, as also River Nyamwamba burst